Monsieur who? Lorai what?
Woogans are the bottom of the totem pole when it comes to magie. I mean, when did these guys start doing magic? I thought the French word for sorcier in Haitian Creole was boko. When did it turn into Wooga?
I know it's been a long time since I've spoke about the Woogan title. Well, today it seems like the Woogans are very desperate and they're reaching because Haiti has been cut off from America. So keep in mind, these people are going to try everything to get money out your pockets. Today I'm going to explain to you all their tactics. One of the bread and butters of Woogans in the past was coming to Haiti to get initiated. Kanzo, this was a big marketing scheme. It was almost ran like a mega church. You join this society, or what we call société, and they make money off of you. Pretty much, you become a member, and like church, you're paying tithes. Now, this can be in the form of you paying for certain rituals to get done. And not only that, as your level increases or your ranking increases, you can become, how I'd say, a foot soldier. You can go out and, quote unquote, do work. But what happens in most of the cases is that the head Woogan makes money off of what is done. So you're going out as a foot soldier, you're bringing the business to us. And if you're going to do something independently, we need a cut off of that. So now, with Trump closing the borders or closing flights in between America and Haiti, now you find the game is beginning to change a bit. Now, instead of it people coming down to Haiti getting, their kanzo, they're doing it in basements and backyards. And for those who can't resort to such, they're resorting to doing magic. But I'm going to talk to you about magic now. See, you have to understand that nothing remains constant. So the way things were being done prior to this situation with Trump and the insecurities that exist in Haiti, now things have changed and adapted to the times. So now their machinations have become greater. So now their tactics, they're coming up with new tactics. But you'll always find the DNA in the new tactics in the old tactics. So I'm going to run a couple of down to you real quick. An old tactic that a lot of Woogans used was the old, I had a dream. The Loa came to me and they told me you need to do this because if you don't do this, or you need to join our société, or else you're going to suffer, or else you're going to die. This is the scare tactics that some of them use. And now, if they're doing it in their basement, you can only assume that they're going to start doing this again now. Because now, if doing initiations in basements becomes the norm, this was something that was sporadic before, but now if basement initiations become the norm, you're going to see a lot of that. You need to initiate, you need to come, and you need to come to the société, or else you're going to have a lot of problems. The DNA of the tactic is in the old ways, but you're going to see it morph into what it's going to become today, because a lot of Woogans, they can't go to Haiti. So where do you expect they're going to do their initiations? Right here in America. The dreams. Here you go. So now, you enter into this phase of the dream part. Now you feel like, oh my God, the loi spoke to this guy whatsoever. So now you go dish whatever money out the bank, whatever, to pay this person, and now you become part of their societe. Now this is not cheap. This is really not cheap. A initiation into Vodou, from what I recall, it can range you anywhere from 15 to 20,000, easy, flat. You know, this was the numbers back in the day, but this is something that can easily be around that price range, maybe a little less because you're not flying to Haiti anymore. But this can be a very expensive process. Now, here we go. When you're doing work, the Wuga has another revelation, right? A couple of weeks go by, now the Loi speaks to them again and say they need to make a sacrifice. So now you did the work, but weeks later, randomly, you get this call or this message from the Wuga, and they tell you that the Loi said they have to pay for a sacrifice. So you finished paying for spell work, but yet you got to make a sacrifice. I mean, this is in the old methods. And now, again, prepare yourself for what you're going to find today. And I got to repeat this, because now you're going to have a big explosion of a lot of spellcasters that are of Haitian descent in America, because now their bread and butter, they've lost it. There's no going back to Haiti. So they're in America. There's no habitation anymore. They're in America. So now they have to resort to the game of witchcraft. And they're going to try all these tactics to get money out of you. Again, the sacrifice you have to make, you'll find yourself at the end of the year saying to yourself, God damn, how many sacrifices more do I have to make? Now, this may be a bit taboo, but this one is very crazy, because you may find some of them may even say the Loi told them that you have to sleep with them. It doesn't really matter if you're male or female. They may even tell you that. You know, well, the Loi came to me and the Loi said, you know, hey, we're gonna have to sleep together, or you're gonna have to become my wife. You find that pretty much in the tradition. I know a lot of people are gonna hate me for saying this. Why did you even say that, Leo? Now, this was one of the main reasons why I assume my grandfather never wanted his children to deal with other Wugans. That's why he made it a family tradition, not for his descendants to go out there to some Wugan's house or anything like that, because this is the fuck shit they do. You gotta, you know, you're a nice, pretty woman. They're gonna come out of nowhere and say, oh, you know, I need to sleep with you. The Loi said so and so. And you find some women that are willing to do that, right? And you may find some guys. You know, you may find some guys that may get with a Wugan, and a Wugan goes that way. And he asks, you know, can he, you know, I mean, it is what it is, you know? And some guys actually give into it. So this is the nonsense that happens. So again, now that we have this thing being concentrated in America now, understand that the fuckery is going to rise tenfold. And then, when all else fails, you finish doing all the above, they're going to tell you that the reason why the spell didn't work was for some unexplainable reason. They may tell you that you didn't have enough faith, the spirit didn't see that you were ready, when they'll just make, after you finish spending thousands of fucking dollars, that's what they're going to tell you. They're going to say, Loi, you know, they said that, you know, you didn't do this, you didn't do that. So they'll make up all the excuses in the book that you can't prove, because this is something that's abstract. This is something celestial, something beyond human comprehension. So they'll bullshit you across the board. I'm telling you this today in 2025. I told you this in 2016, 2014, 2013. You got to be careful when it comes to these woogans. These people, they play a lot of games. And this is why my family separate themselves from the voodoo community. Because of fuckery like this.